This is a review of the Ultrasabers Dark Initiate V5. I'm really pleased with the way this saber looks. It is really cool. It's got some awesome cutouts in the emitter here, along with that curved shape that just gives it some really nice design, and a bit of a grenade design here, which is great. These really cool claws that make it very unique. Looks really good with a blade plug installed. The handle itself on the hilt, or the grip, is that grenade design. I don't know if you can see it very well here, but you can see that it cuts across, but also in the other direction, and it's a bit chamfered on the edges, so it makes these little, almost like tiles, and they fit really nice in your hand. It's the most comfortable grip I have on any of my sabers. It's really nice. And then at the bottom you have a pommel that continues that claw kind of look. And it's open in the bottom, so the speaker's in there. Really awesome. I was originally planning on getting the Dark Initiate LE, which basically has silver accents on it. So it has silver accents on the grip and on the claws. The claws are actually silver because I thought it provided a lot of really cool contrast. I have an Initiate V4 LE that I really like, but I wanted to get this in red, and I thought if the entire thing was black, it would look really cool, and it truly does. So this model is customized a bit. It's got Obsidian sound, it's got the V4 board, so it's got 6 different sound fonts that you can change out while it's running, and then you can also upload new sound fonts to it if you want. It uses the Tri-Cree LED in red, and it also has an illuminated red switch. So these are a really cool new design, especially if you're just getting the stunt saber, because you get one of these AV switches, not illuminated, but you get one of the AV switches by default, and you also get the emitter cutouts windows by default. So if you're looking for a stunt saber, these are about $85 for this model here. It's a really good price for something that comes with a blade and lights up. And if you want to add the Tri-Cree setup, you can do that for another $15. And then if you want to add, if you want to upgrade from Obsidian light sound, if you wanted to have sound, you could upgrade to the Obsidian V4 for another $50. I was originally going to go with Obsidian light because I didn't really need to switch out sound fonts. I wasn't that concerned about it, but the Obsidian light does not have a mute capability, and I really wanted a mute capability, and it was worth that much to me, so I just paid for Obsidian V4 instead so I could mute it. So again, really awesome hilt. I love the way it feels. It's pretty well balanced. It's really nice. It looks great in black. It's nice and glossy. And if I turn it on, it's got a really nice red to it. It's deeper than what you can see in the video. It looks a little bit more realistic there, but really nice. Can shut the lights off and we can see what it looks like. Lights are off. Still not quite accurate, but it's a really nice deep red. Looks great. Looks super cool for like a Sith saber. So to give you another idea of what it actually looks like in real life, the color of the red is somewhere in between this red placemat here and this red towel. So not nearly as white as it looks there, although that does look very much like it would in the movies where it's pretty much white in the middle and the colors on the outside. But it's more like this over here. So what does it look like with a blade? Let's put a blade in it and find out. If we look at it in the light, it fills that blade out pretty nicely. Very even color across the blade. And if you turn the lights out, you can see it a little bit more, but still very, very, very even. Extremely even across the blade. Looks really, really nice. And if I can get some of the reflection here off the table. A pretty nice reflection. Adjust it a little bit, there we go. It looks a lot more even than it does in the video. It's not nearly as bright at the beginning of the hilt as it looks. It looks more like the last half of the blade, kind of all the way through. Although, that's not super accurate either, because it's more, again, it's more like that red towel that I compared it to. Very, very, very cool. So what does it sound like? How does it work? All right, sound is back on. So what does this thing sound like when it's turned on? I've got it set to the Black Star font, which is kind of a Sith sounding font. Very, very cool, very loud. Again, speakers right here. Right there. Super nice. Very balanced. Easy to hold. So how about some stats? How big is this thing? It's about 11 inches for a hilt, which is a pretty good size for me. I don't really like hilts that are longer than about 12 inches. They're just too long for my handling. So anything in the 10.5 to 12 inch range is good. I've got a couple other Ultrasabers to compare it to. So this is an Apprentice V4 LE. So this is the, as I said earlier, the original style that I was looking at getting for the Initiate. I was gonna get the LE, the dark LE style, which has all of these really cool silver accents. And this is it was one of my favorite hilts because it's got a really nice grip to it. It feels good in the hand. It looks good. It's got emitter windows. This one happens to be an amber color, but it's got a nice, interesting design at the top. And this is a different pommel for it, but it fits it really well. It's actually a little bit, makes it a bit taller. So it brings it to almost exactly the same height. Without the pommel, it's, half an inch shorter, 3/4 of an inch. But I've always enjoyed this Apprentice. However, when you put it next to this new Initiate, it's just like, there's just no contest. I mean, look at how much more detailed this Initiate is. There's so much more detail going on in the emitter. It's just crazy. And I mean, it makes this Apprentice look like a PVC pipe, just the shape here. This is so much better. It's softer, it's smoother, it's more angular, there's more going on. It's really, really, really cool. So I still love this Apprentice, but I love this Initiate more. And then this is my Manticore Emerald Driver RGB, set to red, of course. I don't have a blade plug in there, so it looks a little weird, but it's about an inch taller, so it's 12 inches tall there. But again, like, outside of these emitter windows were really cool. That's why I got this, because it had a really cool emitter to it with these really neat windows. But the rest of the hilt, I never really have loved that much because again, it's very basic. It's just got some lines. It's a little bit taller, not a lot going on, but this Initiate is just really cool, especially in black, this black and red combination. I mean, this color combination for anything, even blue, green, anything would look good. This would actually be a great saber to have an emerald driver or diamond on, because it's so nice. It looks so cool. I mean, so overall, I am extremely impressed. Oops. Extremely impressed with it. I really enjoy it. I think it's really awesome. If you were looking for a really cool stunt saber, you can't beat this for 85 bucks. And if you want to customize it with sound, then go for it. I mean, it's a really, really well handling hilt. It's really, really great. I'm very happy with it. It's very cool. I highly recommend it.